Today we're going to talk about the Dwight Howard trade that happened a couple days ago. It was between the Hornets and the Hawks. So I'm talking about a little more of the details of the trade. So there you got Dwight Howard, of course, a nice solid center in the league. Used to be all-star, but not anymore. He's solid center. Now the Hawks got Marco Bellinelli, and they also got the overpaid contract of Miles Plumlee. So yeah, see how it works out for both teams. We're going to simulate to the end of the season, and we're just going to talk a little bit about their careers of people in the trade that involved in the trade, like their careers. Sorry guys. And so we're starting with Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard is a really nice center. He was considered one of the best centers in the league at one point of his career, probably around the 2008, 2009. Somewhere around there, he's probably considered the best center in the NBA. And, times change. For the worse for Dwight Howard. Times change. He was having problems with the staff in Orlando, especially with Stan Van Gundy. And he said, you either trade me or fire Stan Van Gundy. And they decided to trade Dwight Howard to the Lakers for... it was a big 3 or 4 team trade. And I think the Magic got Nikola Vucevic in the trade. I don't remember. It was like 5 years ago. I don't remember the exact details of the trade. But yeah, and then Dwight Howard, he was okay. He was actually still solid. But then after one season with Los Angeles, he left. He got left for Houston, and he declined there. He was solid for another year. Then this one really starts not being as good. But he was still being kind of solid actually. And then after the Dwight Howard experiment failed, after they gave it a couple years, then he signed with the Atlanta Hawks, and they gave up on him already after 1 year. He really digressed, and now that he got traded to the Hornets, we'll see how it works out for him. According to 2K, how will he be in the Hornets? And then he also got the 31st pick in the draft, and then the Hawks to get Marco Bellinelli, who's been a journeyman now. He played for the Spurs, and he played for the Warriors, I think. He played for the Warriors, and he played for the... I'll have to look this up, so I'm going to show you... I'll tell you whenever I find it. And, okay, yeah, he played for the Warriors for a few years, and he played for the Raptors, and the Hornets, and the Bulls, and the Spurs, and the Kings, and the Hornets, and then the Hawks. So it was interesting. Yeah, and then we got Miles Plumlee, he's like $12 million a year. It's way too much. He's a bench warmer center. He's like a 12th man at best. And he had a solid year in Phoenix like 4 years ago. But, he was actually the starting center, and that was the year they almost made the playoffs, I think, with Goran Dragic. But, ever since then, he's been a bench warmer. I don't know why they paid him $12 million bucks. Luckily, they traded him to the Hornets, and now the Hornets traded him to the Hawks. So, yeah, let's see who wins the awards this year. We got Russell Westbrook wins the MVP, Joel Embiid was Rookie of the Year, David Lee wins Sixth Man of the Year, Andre Drummond wins Defensive Player of the Year, and Nikola Jokic wins Most Improved Player of the Year. Here are all the All-NBA teams. Okay, so the Hornets barely missed the playoffs, I think. We'll see how Dwight Howard's season. He had a solid year actually for him. He had a better season than he actually had a solid year and a little bit of an improvement over last season. Probably he was the second best player on the team. And Miles Plumlee, he probably had one of the best seasons of his career actually. Like when he actually got playing time, I guess. But good for him. It was a solid season for him. And I think Marco Bellinelli got traded to Cleveland for J.R. Smith, and he had a pretty low. He didn't have that great of a year. He's so probably not that great of a year. So we're gonna see how the Hawks and the Hornets did. Like how they do. Who did better? The Hornets, they're 1 game away from the playoffs. They could have been in the playoffs, but no. And then the Hawks were one of the worst teams in the league, I think. And we're going to see who wins the championship with this trade. I guess see how it affects the landscape of the NBA, like I said in my other video. And the Spurs are your NBA champions. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. See you guys in my next video.